first off, thanks for coming in, bro. What are you getting done today?
I think like a shadow fade.
Okay.
And patch at the top, maybe make it like a 90s style Leonardo DiCaprio.
Okay, how do you wear it? How do you use it?
Every time different, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how to wear my hair really.
You typically kind of wear up in the front and then like over, how
Yeah,
it naturally falls now?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah? Okay, and then on the sides, you said you want like a shadow fade.
Yeah.
Right now, it's got some length to it. You want to keep the shadow fade low?
I think so.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then do you want to keep sideburns or taper it out?
The sideburns, yeah.
Keep sideburns?
Yeah.
Okay, and then the back squared or faded out?
Faded.
Faded out?
Yeah.
Okay. The weight that's around here, do you want to keep weight around there? Or do you want to tighten it up and flatten it out a little bit?
That's a good question. I don't know, what do you think will look best?
I like a little bit of weight. I think we can keep the shadow fade a little bit low, have a little bit of weight here throughout, and then, you know, cut the top. About how much length do you want off the top?
Not so much, I guess.
When's the last time you got your hair cut?
I had a few weeks ago, but he didn't touch the top. He just had like, he just touched the sides
Oh,
of it.
I see.
Make it neat.
Just a light trim on top.
Yeah.
Make sure it's even. All right, cool.
Okay, great, amazing.
Let's do it. YouTube, what is going on, guys? So we are going to start with spraying his hair with water, preparing it for shear work. So we're going to section off what wants to fall to the sides and, you know, clip the top and start to pretty much create our baseline, our guideline. This is what the sides is going to connect to, but it's also going to keep everything nice and squared all the way around. We're not going to go too high above the parietal ridge by doing this first. And so I'm going to do this all the way around. So now we have everything that wants to fall to the sides. We have it connected with the sides, where before you could see it was disconnected. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and start to fade. I started out with my JRLs because nothing against the JRLs, but I left all my clippers at home. So my wife had to, well, she didn't have to, but she looked out for your boy, and she drove to the shop and brought me my stuff. So you're gonna see I'm gonna switch from the JRLs to the clippers that I typically use. But we're gonna at least start off the shadow fade with no guard, all the way open, to create a shadow effect, right? Like a 5 o'clock shadow length here on the sides. So not bald, but not like a number 1 either. All right, and I went ahead and faded out the neck taper right there. And then we're gonna go ahead and start to debulk everything. I'm using a number 3 right here. Oh no, this is a 2 open. No, yeah, there's a number 3 right here. I'm doing this all the way up to where we left off with the block graduation in the beginning of the cut. So notice that I'm coming off of the shape of his head the closer we get to the top. And that's just because I don't want to have to debulk too much more. All right, so we did the 2 open. Now we're using the 1.5 guard. And honestly, I'm being very careful as I'm cutting. I'm not gonna lie, because I've never cut his hair before. He came down from New York City on vacation with some of his friends and wanted to get a cut. And so I just wanted to make sure that I knew the characteristics of his hair before I start moving too quick, because I wanted to give him a haircut. He traveled, and I just wanted to take my time here. So underneath the 1.5 guard, I'm using the 1 guard open, and we're fading down. Okay, so once we're done with the 1 guard, we're gonna drop down to the half guard. I start off open just to be safe, and I close it until that guideline is gone. This is the last guard you should use. That should blend right into that JRL blade open. And you can see that guideline that was there at the bottom is pretty much gone now. So what we're gonna do is, once we've completed this bottom half, we can start to focus on the top half and just make sure it's a better transition into the bulk that you see here. So that's what I'm gonna focus on now. And what I'll do is I'll kind of retrace my guards and just do my best to detail and make sure that transition looks decent. We may pull out our blending shears, scissor over comb. Some of you guys like doing clipper over comb. You can do all that just to make sure that it blends nicely into the bulk. One thing to consider too, guys, is you're gonna notice I'm lining him up. One thing to consider too is that some of that bulk is actually gonna look different when he styles his hair, right? So typically his hair, you're not gonna comb your hair straight down like that. It's gonna kind of be pushed a little bit back. And so you got to consider that as well and see how the haircut's gonna look when it's styled. Don't get me wrong, you want it to look good regardless if it's styled or not, but it's just something to consider. Because sometimes you can overcut, over detail something, and then once it's styled, it doesn't look as good as it would have if you didn't over detail, right? I don't know if that happens to you guys, but it happens to me. It happens to me, so just being transparent. All right, lining up the neck. That thing's sharp. I'm telling you, I got my rose gold FXs hitting, man. I would cry if I dropped these. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I felt like his hair was pretty difficult. I ain't gonna lie. Just because, especially the transition into the bulk, I didn't want to cut any more length into it, because I knew once I styled it, it would look good by leaving that bulk, as opposed to just blasting through it with like clipper over comb and making it flatter. I think that would have ruined the cut, in my opinion. But at least what he was looking for. So as you can see here, we just left off with the 2 guard open. Now we're using the 1.5 guard open. Underneath that, we're going to use the 1 guard open. And we're just blending down. Underneath that is the last guard, which is the half guard, that green half guard. And that should do the job. So I'm going to be quiet for a little bit and let you guys follow along. All right, so at this point, I'm gonna use my blending shears, hopefully to get rid of some of these lines that I see, which is his hair is being difficult with me. So I'm taking my time using these blending shears, trying to get these lines out. One thing I should have done is take vertical sections, little 1/2 inch vertical sections, and just see what's creating those line of demarcations. Is it just choppiness or whatnot? But I really felt like by doing some clipper work and using the blend shears, it would be a shortcut. But one thing if I could go back, I would have done again is take vertical sections and see where those peaks and valleys are that are creating those little choppy lines. So just want to be fully transparent with you guys and give you guys, you know, since we're watching game tape together, we can, like, everyone can improve. I don't care who you are. No one can do the perfect haircut on everyone. It doesn't happen. You know what I mean? So see how I'm doing vertical sections here in the back? That's what I wish I would have done on the sides. And then you could do scissor over comb to clean up, you know, any lines like you can see. Sometimes I wish like barbers, like other barbers that are good, could, like, right after I'm done, do the same cut on the same client, like his hair grow instantly, and see what he would have done differently, he or she would have done differently, and how it would have turned out. Is it me? Am I having a bad day? I feel like it could have been blurrier, but the hair wasn't letting me do the blurry like I had envisioned, right? Like I envisioned this cut to be a lot blurrier, in my opinion. But some people, you know, this might be the best cut I could possibly give them. But I would really like to see how another barber that I respect would have attacked this and how it would have came out. Then I feel like I would learn so much more. You know what I mean? So I took a section right through the middle. That was my guide. And now I'm taking sections, horizontal sections, and using that first section through the middle as my guide. At this point, I'm just making sure that the fringe flows into the sides. So even if his hair is hanging down, falling off his face, it looks good. It doesn't look disconnected. Same thing on this side.
Damn it, Tito. Another one?
And then at this point, I would just grab more hair and just make sure that it connected to the baseline that we did in the beginning of the cut. So at this point, we're gonna go ahead and blow dry the hair. Get it nice and dry, and we get to start seeing how the hair kind of looks, how it kind of flows. I'm gonna put some clay in his hair. I'm gonna comb it. So guys, this is the before. Now let's check out the after. Guys, this was a tough cut for me, I'm not gonna lie, but I feel like it came out pretty damn good. Let me know in the comments what you thought. Like always, guys, I drop daily content on this channel every single day. So I appreciate you guys, and I will see y'all tomorrow.